Action. Okay, that was recorded. Anyway, I have in C drive. So I'm just going to server manager on server 1, tools, and then Active Directory, users and computers. Every two there? Okay. Nice. Today, both of you look so good. Is it planned? Okay. Where's my camera? Okay. So let me give you USB से मैं आपको दे देता हूँ फिलहाल. Oh, so no, just drag and drop.
He cannot. He doesn't know where the share folder is.
Okay.
This is your share folder. Drag and drop this.
But it's in C drive. It's in your laptop.
No, this is.
So the recording is going on, and also you could follow that. But where are you now? No, first. Okay, don't worry about the share folder. But can you follow on server 1 how to create manually a single user? So I'm on server 1, Active Directory, server manager, and on tools. Are you on tools? Server manager, and then where? Active Directory, users and computers. You're there? Okay. So let's create that user 01. So I'm on mydomain.local, and so I'm going to create one OU, organizational unit. We're pretending that it's an accounts department of this company. So we're going to create first an organizational unit. We're going to create one user inside that organizational unit. So I'm right clicking that mydomain.local, right click, new, and there's that organizational unit there. So is everyone following? Okay, if we click that and accounts department, so just accounts, I'll just put the accounts. So all the users and computers of accounts department are supposed to be in this organizational unit. For now, we're just going to create one user, right? Protect container from accidental deletion. That's very useful. It just explains itself. So press OK. Okay, one accounts OU is created, right? Okay, let's create just quickly one user. Right click. I'm right clicking where? The accounts OU. You're doing that?
Yes.
No. He'll give me a hard time. So you should. You have Active Directory installed? So on server 1? Okay. You need coffee, right? Coffee? So what's going on? You're not active actually.
We all need coffee.
Oh. Okay. New user. User. Everyone there? User. Okay, user 1, user 01. So when you put user 01 first name, it automatically fills that full name. Then go to logon name. What is logon name for? This is the whatever you type here will be used to log into any network resource. So it's automatically typed here below as well. User 01, user 01. Next, class password. I'll quickly give that. And user must change password and next log on. So uncheck that. We don't want extra steps. User cannot change password. We can put that, but we're not going to put that. Password never expires. No, he is just a simple user. Account is disabled. No, we are creating that account, so we cannot disable it right away. Next, uncheck, and yeah. Uncheck everything. Well, keep it unchecked. Yeah, next, finish. You're there? Oh, here? You're here?
You did this 500 times.
Don't remind me, please. Oh, okay. So, I was just newly recruited there and they were really dumping everything on me. So, check all those 1,000 computers in the lab for computers and install Office 2010, Office 2003 at that time. To how many? Like 70 computers. So I didn't know how to deploy over the network. So I went with 70 CDs. So the manual work, you can think, the worst case scenario manual work. I did that. So when I was able to do all that, then I said, okay, one word, automation. And go for the technologies, knowledge. I didn't know how to remotely deploy. Now I know. And we're going to do that, remote deploy today or tomorrow. So yeah, others were actually laughing. And I was doing all that. I had to prove that I can do all that. And I learned it the hard way, very hard way. Okay, next finish. So this is, well, we just created it and we did not even put information there. Normally there's a lot of information. If you are given this much, 500 users like this, would you take half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours? 500 users. Department, accounts, everything. 5 days? Half, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? No, 40 minutes? 500. At least couple of hours, like at least 3 years. 3 years. No, 3 hours.
5 minutes. In 1 hour you have got 60 minutes. You are done with 2 minutes for one user. 30 users in
Hey, mathematics in action. The maths in action. 3 hours? No, that's still 6 or 7 hours.
Sorry, 30 into 1. Let's not go into 500. 500 divided by 30.
So?
500 divided by
Oh, no. It's a couple of hours.
At least
14 hours. So let's do it in 14 seconds now. No.
14 seconds.
Okay, 1 minute. Give me one. Okay, let's do 390 users now. Okay, how? Let's go to this PowerShell. There's that bracket thing, the third one icon. Are you all able to see that? We're still on server 1. We're going to do that on server 1.
What is PowerShell?
So what is PowerShell? It's a scripting language. It's a scripting shell. We call it shell, in which we can write scripts. Script is what? What is a script?
You can program a language.
Which does what?
It does whatever you tell it to decide what you want. I mean, carries out orders.
More example. Script. Write a script, and okay. For example.
Messenger.
So okay, I'll give you one example. I've been given a task to check 500 servers if their C drive has free space less than 1 gig, 1 GB or 2 GB. If it's less than 2 GB, tell your boss. If it's more than 2 GB, it's okay.
Yeah.
Free space. 500 servers. So I go to remote desktop. If I go here, MSTSC. Yeah, and this is a remote desktop connection. I'm on server 1, server 2. I type here server 2. Yeah, it's like 40, exactly. And then it asks, hey, who's connecting? So I say, I'm administrator. Let me connect. ABC for MSTSC.
Now what is this for?
Remotely connecting any server. As long as you have permissions. MSTSC and press enter in run. Okay, I'm connecting from within server 1. I'm now inside server 2. I'll do that again. Or, okay, this took me, and still I have to see that yellow folder open in server 2, and then C drive, okay, this is 91 GB free of 99. Okay, I don't have to tell my boss. This means if it's less than 2 GB, then I will tell my boss, right? So I'll just go disconnect from here. I'm again back in server 1. So 500 servers, if I have to do that, still, it took like, how much? 1 minute? So still, 500, do the math. Anyway. So again, if I do, go to run, MSTSC here, MSTSC, press OK. In run, MSTSC, and it will just get this prompt. Remote desktop connection. Now you type either a name of any server or an IP of any server or client.
It could be done over the internet.
If it will be able to connect whoever you can ping.
So
if you can ping through internet, okay. If you cannot, no.
why are we doing this?
I'm just telling you an example that PowerShell. With PowerShell, I need to check 500 servers, free disk space. If it is less than 2 GB, then report. So I'll create a script first. I'll test it vigorously a lot in UAT environment or test environment, and then once I run that, then it's going to give me the report in 1 to 2 minutes, which will take me like hours and hours to go 500 servers. Yeah, you were saying?
So what we are doing here is we are checking.
I'm just giving
all the servers.
All the 500 servers, C drive, if it's less than 2 GB. So I'll create a script for that, and I'll give certain commands. It will go and check, go and check, go and check, go and check, go and check automatically. No need to go through all that. Yeah. Yeah, we can use, but okay, that's just a very general way you're saying that. How to create a script? That's what you're asking, right? And in that script, would we use loops? No. We will be giving a command to a notepad file. In that file, 500 names will be there. So I'll go check all the names, ping those names if you want to add the ping command, and then go inside those servers and check C drive. If it's less than, if less or else, just use all that, and else go out. If it's less than 2 GB, then report, then do the rest of the thing. So we'll have to create one script that is created in PowerShell. After that, it does work for us.
So we know we will learn how to create a script also.
That's not part of these 3 courses, but I'll give you all the resources, and we're going to be using a lot of scripts. So if you don't have a scripting background like me, if you don't have a programming background like me, most of the system administrators won't have programming background. But you will have to. We will have to learn PowerShell. How? I'll give you a book which is for all the geniuses. It's called PowerShell for Dummies. I love it. You know, it's very simple. It's so good. For Dummies series, you know.
How big is it?
Oh, it's big. Not very big, but if you read first 3 or 4 chapters, you will be able to modify a already created script. There are so many already created scripts on the internet. All you need to know is understand the syntax. It says from here to here, this, okay. Oh, my servers are here. I'll just change this to here. Okay, done. So I've done that after reading that book. I'm going to give you all. For 4 chapters, 5 chapters, just that. And then you will be able to modify the scripts. Once you will be able to modify, you don't need, well, it's better to learn that, but you don't need to, you will be okay in a system administration environment checking 500, 1000 servers. Yeah, you were saying?
And PowerShell uses different app statements?
Yeah. It's it's basically used in all. In VB scripts you can use, in PowerShell scripts you can use. Yeah. I think it's in every language, in every programming language we can use. This is very, very basic, you're saying. So yes, it will be easy for you if you have already had some exposure to the programming environment. So let's go to PowerShell. PowerShell is, you know, if we want to automate many of our tasks, daily tasks that we do. I used to, when I joined this bank, I was given already 60 servers, and I was given many tasks to monitor those servers. And I would go one by one, click that, okay, free disk space is there, and all the Exchange databases are connected. So I would check many portions of that. Then I started I searched a script that would go for monitoring servers. Then I read the book and started comparing. Oh, this script says that go and check the C drive and D drive of that. No, I just want to check C drive. So I'll omit that portion of there and check in my test environment. So the script, I evolved that by modifying, and changed it to my environment.
So
but I was able to understand from that book. Yeah?
You can get a job just without that. I mean, then you can learn how to, do all this.
It's better to, there will be more people knowing that. So they will be selected right away. In my case, they desperately needed a guy, and they didn't care about that PowerShell that time. I was lucky. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this is the best scenario that we join first and then learn. But if we know it beforehand, it's better. Okay, everyone on server 1. So PowerShell, right click and right click again and run as administrator. Are you able to see that?
Negative.
I like that. Star Trek.
That guy died.
Yeah, it's a. Okay, Commander.
Sorry, his head was blocking.
No, it is like that. Yeah. Okay, run as administrator, and now I'll just put on that magnifying glass.
Wait, I didn't have that run as administrator.
No, right click again.
Run ISE or the administrator?
I'll show you that again. Mag. Sorry? No, it brings the same window, but with run as administrator, it will give us more privileges. Okay, first of all, what we need to do is allow ourselves to start giving commands, because PowerShell by default blocks every command to be executed. So there is a command that will allow us to use this. So this is set-exe. There's another good thing about these scripts, PowerShell, is that it auto completes. So if I just put that exe and press tab, it should auto complete that command. Right? It's in Cisco as well. So we are allowing ourselves. It basically by default blocks every command to run every. So we are opening it for us first, allowing us to give commands. Set dash execution policy unrestricted. So now this is the command. Now everyone please. Yeah. No. Set dash exe, start writing something and then it will autocomplete. Yeah. So yeah. Set dash exe. Press tab now. Set dash. It has to be exactly like that. Above. And press enter. It will say, "Are you sure?" Press Y.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Because we need to. Did you ask why or you press Y? Okay. Everyone did that? Okay. Now let's just create those 390 users. Yeah. So enter. It's asking all this, and it says yes. We're just gonna type Y. Enter. We're done. We're done allowing us to give commands. Okay. Yeah. So up arrow, and this is the command. Set execution policy space unrestricted. Set dash execution policy. Set dash execution policy space unrestricted. So.
And the capitals are.
Right, typing, right? Yeah. Everyone did that? Every two?
And then we click yes.
Yeah. Just type Y and enter.
PowerShell came in 2008.
The alphabet Y. Yeah, you saying?
PowerShell came in 2008.
Yeah, it came with the 2008. Okay, set execution unrestricted. It's written. Let's go ahead with the. We have to go to that folder inside the C drive. How do we go there? Now there are some DOS commands that we will use, which PowerShell is also compatible with DOS commands. Yeah. Okay. So now follow me, folks. So first of all, we're gonna go out of this path, users and administrator, CD /. It takes us out to the root C. So everyone type CD / and press enter, and you will be on the C prompt now. Right? Everyone there? CD /. This is if you have used DOS before. These are basic commands. dir enter. This will tell us the content of C drive. So dir, press enter. Dir, press enter. And it will just give us the contents, but it will give us the location as well, and the we can just see. So in my case, there is a folder called create-users. Maybe you have some other spellings. So I'm just going to go inside the create-users. Right? Everyone there?
I don't have this folder.
should copy the guys in.
Your shared folders that you selected, you probably shared the zip file.
So extract it. Right click and extract. It will be folder, normal folder instead of zip. You go to the C drive. Yeah.
Are you doing all this to figure out the path of where the folder is?
So
Just go to Windows Explorer, select the file, and then copy and paste the.
yeah. So you're trying to know where the folder was in C drive.
Path, right?
Yeah. We just need the path. We just need the path. So yeah, in Windows Explorer, the whole path will be there. Just copy paste that. So is it extracted? Right click and extract. So who has the access? You just need to know in PowerShell we need to go to notes wherever you place it. So cd space that folder name. Yep, that folder name. You're already in downloads. Very good.
Go back. It was just some wrong prompts. So that's
It doesn't say extract. Okay, just extract it. That's the one. Cut. Yeah. Or copy. And go to center. Yeah. Oh, you're going to the other one? Oh, it's already there. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone has the path clear?
I'm not going to copy it. Just 2 minutes.
Yeah, clear. So, yeah. Okay. You never copied it to the okay. So can you show me where it is copied? Inside the machine, where is it? Minimize this. Now tell me where it is. Yeah. You did not paste it, right? Yeah, so go to this PC. Create right click.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, guys, how to execute the PowerShell? So I'm just going inside the folder. My folder is here, create users, right? So I'm just going to go inside the folder first, cd, and the folder starts with CRE, create users, right? So I'm just going to type CRE and autocomplete the name of the folder. I don't need to write the whole folder name and press enter. I'm inside the folder now, create users. So I'm just going to put the command dir again, just to see the contents, enter.
So basically, we have to write CD and the name of the folder.
Yeah, change directory. CD means change directory.
And then you have to enter.
Enter and that's it. It will go inside the folder. Yeah, you were saying?
Oh no, I found the CD, man.
Change directory. Okay. Okay, now we see what we want to run. Create labusers.ps1. ps1 is extension for PowerShell. So if you are inside the folder and you are seeing the file, these three files, you're at the right place. We just need to run that file, yeah? So you pasted it from Dropbox.
No, but I think you posted them
March 3rd. Oh, it's 7, yeah. Yeah, a little late, but you still had 4 days, 3 days. See, I win. You still had 3 days, that's it. Oh, you were also getting those. You're overwhelmed with knowledge now. Which tabs? Which one? Oh, workshop, okay. On the previous class you're talking about, right? Or this one as well? So everything is quick now. Yikes. You didn't even see that once? Okay. Try to open this week. But it's easy, really, just like this. It's this one. Oh, okay. I'll be faster. By Sunday night, hopefully. Will do. Okay, every two are there?
Just everyone.
Just everyone. Okay. Everyone? Nah, just you were getting help. Come on. Okay, what's happening? So, okay, you got turn good and. Okay, so you just pasted that create dash users, right? So from within PowerShell, go there. Okay. I understand. Start. It's tricky, but we're gonna be executing a lot of PowerShell scripts. Then we'll be on our pace. We still have a lot to do. We're just going all together. That's right. Very slow. So, okay, that's a very good support spirit. Where is my camera? Where is the camera? Which one? On server 2? Yeah. No, but we did not. Oh yeah, server 2 is joined. That's great integration. Oh, you want to go server integration? Okay, we are not ready.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah, it's another machine.
What about the C drive? It shows
That we need a more experienced system.
Now we have export set right behind it, which is good for future. So we have now 5 people looking. Better be solved. Next 2 seconds. And 3 here.
share that folder. So you heard that, right? I did. Right now, C drive.
No, now if you go in there, you can find CRE articles.
You got it. We're there. What's the command?
CD backslash again. It takes us straight to the root. Cool. Good support spirit. And obviously this is not the classwork you're doing. Okay. Full report going there. No, it's okay. Yeah, just kidding. Because next lab is very, I mean, not very, but if you don't, you know,
If I don't finish this, I won't be able to follow next week.
so yeah, and it's very important. Every lab is important, but it's going to be more complicated. But this one, if you do it, the next one will be easy for you. Very easy. And it's easy if you start trying it. You will see, that's what I was missing. You'll just do this. But you have to start doing it. Although you're under pressure from other classes, I understand. So are they. Yeah. Why are you taking 2 classes? Which is good. But why? Okay. Take your time then. Bingo. Even if you try to understand, next time it will be so easy for you. Which is good. Which is, any knowledge is always good. So, good. Okay, guys.
Nah, yeah, he's here. He's right here. I was accessing, yeah. I was working in server 2, running in here and here. I wasn't here. I should have followed from here.
Yeah, every time you go into a folder, you want to know how many subfolders are there.
You were on server 2.
Like,
No, but this
so many
We're talking. Okay, so let's just run this command and get it over with.
How many have we done a right first step? What we did?
Yeah, sure. Although it's in the video, but I'm gonna write it
One
again.
more question. Do we have labs for this for the week? Do you have any labs to do all this throughout the week?
Video.
Is
It's
there a lab
recording.
that we have to- it's recording.
Yeah. So if you could follow the recording, it's a lazy guy solution, And so many classes, other classes are saying, "Oh, the video is there. Okay, I can follow the video."
So just practice.
Yeah.
On the video.
So okay, if I want to execute this .ps1, .ps1 is the extension for PowerShell. Any .ps1 over the internet you see, it's a PowerShell script. .ps1, right? So I'm just going to run this. How do I do that? I know that it's starting from CREATE. So I'm going to start writing directly the file name CRE and press tab. Now, every PowerShell script, when you are about, this is the only way to execute or run a PowerShell script. A dot in the start, a backslash, the name of the script, and the extension. Any file you find you want to just run it, having a .ps1 extension inside a PowerShell, then you have to put a dot, backslash, and the script name. Full. This is the way a PowerShell script is executed inside the PowerShell. So I just auto completed that. Okay. So CRE and press tab, and it just gave me those. It just put it in the execution style. Okay, enter. It's going to ask what names you want me to create accounts for in Active Directory, like this. So we're going to tell the names are in that second file. So we have to go to that folder again. Where? Create users. Double click. Lab users. Lab users has the 390 names.
This is a spreadsheet, right?
This is just a simple file having name, first name, last name, first name, last name, first name, last name. That's
What
it.
is .csv extension?
.csv is it stores all the names just like a notepad file. It's a text file, but it's more towards taking out the reports and converting it into Excel sheets, where you can put formulas there and do all kinds of lookups. And so CSV is compatible with Excel file.
We have to save every file into .csv.
Comma separated values. Yeah. Yeah, so it's already there. Normally system administrators get this long list from HR department, human resource department, because they do the hiring. So then they give it to system administrator, hey, create accounts for them. So double click lab users. As soon as you double click, what happens? Start double clicking. It will start creating all the users right away. As soon as I double click that, it's going to start create all the users. So double click it, please. I'm just stopping here, so anyone who hasn't done.
Oh my gosh, there's something happening to my computer.
Uh-oh, it's formatting
It's like the
everything.
Matrix.
Yes, it looks like a matrix. You're a programmer now. Okay, double click that and there you go.
Yeah, it just goes.
So if you had to create these users like this, one by one. Whoa. Okay, nightmares again. Huh?
But when I double click on that, it's asking me to open the file on Notepad or what?
I think you're on your phone. It must be on your phone. So did you
Oh, since you were out, so you have to move your now present. It's asking to create users, so it's over here, and then lab users. Alright. Okay, how to confirm 390 users have been created? It created a new organizational unit called ExchangeUsers inside the Active Directory users and computers. Let's go and confirm there in Active Directory users and computers if there is a new organizational unit called ExchangeUsers, and inside those ExchangeUsers, that OU ExchangeUsers, you will have 390 users created.
What is the name of the folder?
Name of the folder? Yeah, so this script I borrowed from an Exchange guy, Exchange server expert online. This script is, you just put 390 users, PowerShell script, and you will get that link right away. It's a very, very famous script. So in our test labs, we just use that script to create users. He created that script, that guy, and put it on the internet.
So it has all information about the user.
Yeah, yeah. Not all. It has username, password, and the password for these users is capital P, password 1. So capital P and the password and number 1. That's it. For all these users. We're going to use those users for next labs. Yeah, you were saying?
I'm getting an error command. I'm not able to run that.
Did you open the PowerShell as run as administrator in the start? Run as administrator? Okay. And it did run, but at the end it's giving error?
Yeah.
So can you still confirm? So if I'm on, let's go on server 1, everyone on server 1, of course. Minimize this PowerShell, and let's just confirm by going to Active Directory user and computers in tools, and here Active Directory user and computers. Everyone there?
Yeah, I got some users.
That's it. The OU, newly created OU is? Yeah. Excuse me. Okay, mydomain.local, there is the Exchange users new OU created. All the users are showing here now. They were not there before. So did you still confirm even after the error? Did you confirm in Active Directory using computers? They're not there? If you go to ADUC, Active Directory using computers, it's there? You don't have it. F5, can you press F5 on the Exchange?
Okay, so
Now we're inside the folder.
just run the file C.
Okay, we created 390 users from PowerShell script. It was the first time, so we were terribly slow. But anyway, so next PowerShell scripts. One thing to know is, if you open PowerShell in a new computer, it's not going to allow you to run scripts. By default, it blocks in a new computer. This is a once only thing that you have to run that command set dash execution policy unrestricted. So you will have no restrictions. to run any PowerShell script in a new computer. Now, in this computer server 1, we will be able to run any script from now on. But once we have to type that, right?
Sorry, you know how you were saying earlier that you get this from the HR department and CSD. So are they just creating this in a notepad and just calling
Exactly.
it? That's all they're doing? Oh, I see.
So they make their own list, and then they say, okay, let's create those. And we have a script now ready. Although we can improve that script by adding a department, it does not have a department. It does not have many of the things that we can still fill out. Address, phone number, email.
And what about names? So you still have to write the names, right? Even if it's a CSV file.
They wrote it already, otherwise we have to do it.
Yeah, so still have to fill out the names and all that, but you were mentioning departments and all that.
Exactly, we have to do that. And then we have to modify the script as well. Script would not understand automatically that there is an address added as well. So we have to add some code to the script to recognize the address and put it there.
But in Excel, I think we can export a CSV file.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Next, so first we did was PowerShell. Number 1, PowerShell. 390 users. Now our steps will be to create a Replica DC. So we need to have tools of every critical resource. Every critical resource, we need to have tools of these things. So 2 domain controllers, 2 DNS servers, 2 Exchange servers, 2 SQL servers, whichever is critical, have 2 of them. So if one goes down, the show must go on, right? It should still keep on giving the services. Okay, if we want to have tools of that, first of all, you're able to see the graphical interface. So I can remove that, or the magnifying glass should stay. So okay, I'll try to remove, but if you cannot see the guys in the back, then I will have to get that. Okay, so the server 2. First of all, since we have Active Directories and computers, everyone there in Active Directories and computers, there are few yellow containers. Go to computers container and you see server 2 there. Does everyone see server 2 there? Every two see also? Okay, domain controllers, how many servers you see there? Everyone should be seeing 1, right? Because the second one is not a domain controller, it does not have an Active Directory, so it's in computers folder. But now we're going to install Active Directory, and after that it's going to be inside domain controllers folder. It should be once it becomes a domain controller, right? So first thing is here. Second thing, if you minimize this and go to tools as well, we are still on server 1. If you go to tools and go to Active Directory sites and services, at the same time, no. And if it does not have Active Directory, it will stay in computers. If it has, then it will become a domain controller, so it will be in the domain controllers club or the OU. Sites and services. So everyone open that? As soon as we open the Active Directory sites and services, this portion of Active Directory tells or keeps record of all the sites, all the branches, and what services are being offered to those sites. How many domain controllers are there in one site or each site? So we're going to work on that in detail as well. For now, what we need to know is Active Directory sites and services. If you see the sites here, double click that. And if you see default first name, double click that. Then you see the folder called servers. Double click that. We are supposed to have just one domain controller. Sites and services deal with the physical portion of our network, Microsoft network. So if we have another branch, we can tell Active Directory by creating a separate site for that. We're going to play with that later. Right now, total domain controllers we have, it will show here in sites and services, because domain controllers talk to each other. 45 seconds in the site, across the site, 180 minutes. So if they talk, they will tell. So if I have created 390 users here, not seconds, minutes, 3 hours. So no, that's the default setting, but we can change it to according to our WAN speed. We can change it. Okay, the server 1 is showing here. So
It only gives how many servers we have.
exactly, domain controllers. How many domain controllers we have? We can have a lot of servers, but it's going to keep track of how many domain controllers we have. What's the difference? Is it going to track all the servers here or all the domain controllers? Okay, don't ignore that servers written there. But servers could be all member servers, but it's not compulsory that everyone will have an Active Directory installed on that, right? Or other member servers will have other application servers installed there, like Exchange server for emails, and web servers, and file servers and print servers. But domain controllers will be the only one that will be giving authentication, authorization, audit, and accounting. So when we install the second domain controller, we're going to come back and visit here. There should be 2 servers here. Then we're going to talk about how they talk to each other. That is called replication. How do they replicate? And we're going to create one more thing in one server, and we should expect on the other server right away that created or copied, not created. We're going to create on anyone and should be copied right away or replicated, the technical term for that, right? So 2 places we're going to revisit after we create second domain controller, right? Minimize. Now I'm going to server 2. Everyone, let's go to server 2, log in there. Okay, one more thing. When we log in, do you see this? When you're on server 2, do not log in from server 2/administrator. Log in from my domain /administrator. Can you tell me the difference? Okay. Although I am also recording. Okay. Okay. So if I log in from here, server 2/administrator, is it okay?
I don't have my domain.
Okay. If I go this way, other user, do you see this screen?
I have to switch users.
You're logged in? Log out then. If you're logged in, please log out. Can you explain me?
Why am I getting all 3?
It's okay. I mean, all these users are existing. These 2 are existing, but other user is there. So if we log in from by typing server 2/administrator, what will happen? It's going to log in locally to that server, and it will not give us any network services. So when we log in from administrator, we should choose specifically the domain name. My domain is the name of our domain name prefix. So we're going to just make sure, because the next steps will depend on what you do now while logging in. I'm going to make sure I'm going to type my domain /administrator. So domain name /administrator. So look at this to understand this point. If I just type administrator now, administrator, only administrator, you can see that below it changes to server 2. Automatically it changes below. Did you join the server 2 domain? You also did not join, right? So in break, you guys. Okay, if administrator you type here, server 2 automatically comes. Why? Because administrator account is already by default present in every Windows machine, every NOS, network operating system. Administrator account is by default locally present. So it's going to consider, oh, you want to log in locally to this server. This means you don't need network services. No, we do need network services, and then we are not logging in from the local administrator. We are logging in from my domain /. Now it changes to my domain /administrator.
That means it will give you access to
The whole domain, file server, print server, whatever is in the domain, it's going to give access to that. Yeah,
I'm part of the domain, sir.
you are. You did join it, right? Server 2.mydomain.local. Okay, so log out from here. You're in server 2. Oh, okay.
Now type in what we typed in, right?
Were you guys saying signing to
Yeah, that's fine. My domain /.
Administrator first?
Administrator.
Signage to what? Server 2.
server 2.
Yeah, so now in the beginning of
Okay.
administrator, put my domain
Yeah.
name. It should change it to sign it to my domain.
But I don't have three guys.
You don't have to have three. It might show three in some computers. It might not show. The point to understand is we must not log in locally. We should log in from the domain. If we log in locally, which will happen in next labs, so I'm telling you in detail now, it will happen that you will not have some services. You will have to log out, and we will have to wait for those guys. If it is showing two, server 2, this means, yeah. So if it's showing server 2 or my domain, so server 2 means you want to log in locally, or my domain will see that show that you want to log in from domain. So do not choose server 2. It will show that, and this is a confusion because there's the same name account already present, which is the name as well for the domain administrator. There's a local administrator as well as domain administrator. So it will automatically assume that you are logging in locally. So many times it happens that we will just ignore that and then log in locally. After that, the next lab, we will not know that why the services are not there. So you have to log in, log out, and then my domain / you have to type that specifically. The domain name / administrator name. And then you will get those all prompts which will not be available if you log in locally. So do not log in locally. Let's log in from our administrator, which should be like this. So have this habit of typing my domain or the domain name. Next time maybe you have a different domain name, right? So type the domain name / administrator. Normally what happens is that they disable the administrator account and they change it to something else. Why? For security purpose. So administrator, every hacker knows that administrator has all the power in the domain. So you should disable that as a best practice. We also have disabled it, and we have some other account as that, and we not only disable, rename it too. And you should know only.
When we rename it,
Because disabled administrator anyone can enable it. If a good hacker is there, genius
But
hacker.
if we
Yeah.
disable the administrator, how are we going to log in? Not from the administrator, but from administrator.
This is our next task coming. We're gonna disable it, but before disabling, we're gonna copy with all the powers with another account which will be a totally different name. So we will know only that this is an administrator.
But we'll still have the administrative privileges.
Everything. Because right click, administrator and copy, it will give all the privileges to the copied account. We're going to do that now. Okay, right now we're logging into administrator in server 2. Everyone in? Okay, let's install Active Directory. Same procedure. First we install binaries. Then we're going to, when you install binaries and you're done, then we're going to go together with the options because we need to understand a little more things. So, yeah, log into server 2 with domain administrator. Sorry? Or the files that help to install Active Directory later. So I'm just going to go on server 2 to add roles and features, just like in the server 1 we did. And next, until we reach the roles window, and then we select the first one. Hey, we are all here. Okay, second one, and then automatically whatever pops up, yes, we need all those features. Add features. If it says that, yes. So we're not going to support anything, just second Active Directory domain services, select that and go next. Nothing in the features. Am I going fast? Okay, sure. Previous. Okay, or cancel. Add roles and features. Everyone there? Okay, this window comes welcoming us to this great world of Windows, and since we're just not going to read all that, next. Is it role or feature? Yes, we're going to go for the role of Active Directory, right? Everyone there? Next.
Did you start all over again?
Yeah.
I was like, why am I doing this again?
Server 2. This time we're installing on server 2. Server 1 already has it, right?
Yeah.
So server 2 we're going, and I just had to cancel out and go back again because some users were back. Okay, it's on server 2. Next. Every 2 there? Okay, roles, second one. Active Directory domain services. and whatever pops up, yes, this is required, this is needed for Active Directory. Features, add features. Yes, we will click add features and next. Everyone there? Since we already added the required features, nothing to add manually from this feature window. And next. And this is just things to note if you want to do that. But yes, we're just gonna say install the files. We're gonna think about it later.
Sorry, your thing said group policy was checked off.
It's okay.
How come mine's not checked off? I don't even have that option. Just check it out.
No, don't do manually anything. Whatever is coming by default, because these are the basic
Have
files.
that option at all.
So you're on roles or features? Which window are you on?
Roles.
Add
Add roles and features.
Okay. And you're on which window? Roles? That would be much better.
Yes,
Yeah, roles window. So second one selected. That's all we want now. Whether anything else is selected or not would be secondary thing. Yeah, even then we're not going to use that. If we are just selected, it's okay. So press. So I'm at the end. Click restart. If it wanted to restart, it will restart. And yes, in Windows environment, when it asks for a restart, you better say yes. Yeah. Then we should go for a restart. Otherwise, Windows will give us bad experience. Okay, click install and let's go ahead. This is just like the first lab. We just installed the binaries. There's nothing here. But after that, we're going to configure the additional or Replica DC. Replica DC will be giving authentication plus the first server. In future labs, we're going to have a crash test as well. We're going to crash server 1. Then we're going to see that if the server 2 is really giving services or was it just a theory. Okay, I think it's done for me. Close. And we have this yellow warning, yellow triangle. Okay. SSD gang is done? Okay. Join our gang, come on. All those bikes and Hey, where's that Niagara Falls shirt? That looks so good. That was so good. Okay, we are on the warning. As they say in the movie, warning, warning. Yep. Oh my God! Don't say that. I repeated that warning again and again that you have to recreate the whole environment again. That will be fun because you get to learn a lot. Exactly, you're there. Day one, day two.
What happened?
Oh, that's just ignored. No, that's all important. There's a lot of settings you can ask. With the videos, they are separate things. Equally important, but they have nothing to do with videos. Yeah. We're there. Okay, so restarting the. Okay, I'm going to promote this server domain to a domain. Okay, so team right, are you all done?
Yes.
Yes.
Two are out. Okay. Team left is left out or what?
Team right is left out.
So you're done?
Yeah.
The binaries are done. Yeah, you're done.
I just.
Okay, you started.
I'm just restarting.
Restarting means like
I installed that.
this done. You're restarting yourself or it restarted itself?
No.
Automatically.
I didn't click the check.
So you're restarting. That's why.
Yeah.
No. You should not restart. We check it out. So if it requires, it will automatically restart. If not, it will not restart.
Did yours restart?
No. And in this stage, it never does that.
Okay. And you checked
I still check it if it requires from any previous installation. Is it done?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, done. server 2. We're gonna go ahead together and break. Okay, promote this server to a domain controller. Team left. How much left? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you would see that warning sign anyway when it's done. So you could join, right? Because others will start throwing stones now. No, anyway, promote the server, and now we have the same interface. And just like before, we're gonna go for add a new forest, and
That's wrong.
Add a new forest. Second one.
hey, good. Second one.
First.
Who said second one? You said second one. Okay. You said second. Okay. Yeah. No. It's a second one is for child domain and for new domain tree. Don't go there. Now. Okay. First one is add domain controller to an existing domain. Now we can add 10 domain controllers here as per our need, or 5 or 6 according to our volume of users and the volume of requests for authentication. So the first one will remain. It already detected that. If you have logged in from local administrator, it would not have detected that mydomain.local. Anyway,
Can you explain the second option? Add a new domain.
this option shows us this. If we select that, child domain can be created or tree domain can be created. So what is child domain? Suppose we have a branch somewhere else, toronto.mydomain.local. So if we type here Toronto, now we create a totally new child domain with Toronto users and computers there, and it's normally used for separate branches. But we can use it within the same environment. For example, in our environment, we have a test environment called test dot the name of our domain dot local. Suppose test dot mydomain.local. We have created child domain, and child domain users and computers have nothing to do with parent domain users and computers. They have their own privacy, we can say, separate area of administration. Some things are common, but mostly child domain functions separately, independently, while still it's the child domain of the parent domain called mydomain.local. We will go there and we're gonna discuss in detail why this is the case. But anyway, if we choose the second option, we can create as many child domains for the branches. That might show us the location. And the tree is, suppose you want to go for another, you have a group of companies. One company has mydomain.local, and so your group of companies. One company is mydomain.local. Second company is cars.local. You're doing also business of cars, leasing or selling. So you want to create another tree or another domain that should have a totally different name, but it will be still in the same forest, because the employees of cars.local should be able to access printers and servers of our mydomain.local offices. So you can create 2 totally separate naming domains within one forest, just to give the employees easy access to each other's network resources. So if I want to go ahead, I would just go for cars dot, suppose we are just Toyota dealers, Toyota. Totally different name, cars or Toyota, while it's part of the same forest where mydomain.local is also there. But it could just go for, so this will be a separate DNS namespace. So first DNS name, sorry?
It would still have my domain and then dot cars Toyota, or just
Completely different, totally. So this is good for mergers, that you just bought a company is merging. So for the time being, you want to keep that name independent, separately working until it's totally dissolved. So until then, or maybe you want that company permanently working with a separate name, independent operations. But the CEO thinks that the employees of this company should still be able to easily access the resources of mydomain.local employees, servers, printers, anything. So separate name within the same infrastructure. So permissions could be given easily. We're going to do the lab for this in second course, 70-411. Okay, so this was the second option. We're not going for that. We are going for just a helper domain controller, a domain controller that is just load balancing. If I say the second domain controller is a load balancing, server. What do I mean by that? What load is it balancing?
The amount of users.
The database.
What load is the first one taking?
Authentication or something.
Authentication requests, authorization requests. Authorizations are the user is part of that group, and that those number of users have access to only 5 servers out of the 10 servers. So authorization is wherever the user has access. All this information will be requested as well. Authentication, whenever you log in, or maybe you logged out, or you have reset password, now you want to log in again. So authentication requests keep coming from all sides. So that's why the load is heavy on any domain controller. And then the DNS, name resolution, by name you're accessing resources, by name applications are accessing each other automatically in the background. They also need to have DNS alive and working. So it's already heavy loaded. If we have one domain controller and 5,000 users, 10,000 users, that's a huge amount of users. So that's why we have second one doing the same set of services, right? So this is the replica DC or the helper DC, we can say, but technical term would be replica. Okay, so we keep it like that and go next. Everyone there? Every 2, every 3. Okay, what was global catalog? Now let's see if you remember. What else?
Help and login.
It helps in login, but there was one other feature. Forest wide search, 3 words. Forest wide search, and it has exactly partial information of every object in the forest. It just tries to point to the right direction. If you're searching a printer or a user or a group, it will have that enough information, not the full information, but enough information to get you that object searched, right? So global catalog, if just like DNS, okay, we have DC here, DNS here, DNS here. We can have GC here as well. GC here and GC here. Global catalog. It's going to share the load of forest-wide searches being gone to. Yeah.
So when we were installing the ActiveX and the first one, we had to check both these two.
On the first one, this was grayed out. On the first one, GC was a must. We cannot uncheck that. But yes, DNS was still something we could check or uncheck. But they were both checked. This means that they are recommended that yes, you should be giving these basic services to everyone in the forest, right? So DNS, another one. This will be the alternate DNS now. And global catalog, yes, another forest-wide search tool. So all the searches across the forest will be shared by this server as well. So now 3 roles are being shared by 2 domain controllers. RODC. This is just security. This is for security. RODC, as we discussed before, that it does not caches. It does not caches password. Can you tell me what did I just said? Or what does it mean? It does not cache passwords.
It does not store it.
It's not saving it locally. It's not storing it locally. The passwords. So if a hacker gets away with the server, no passwords will be other than those who were accessing it from that branch. So normally it is placed where there is not enough security in the branch. Maybe the servers are just put in the closet, and the office is so small, and
Then it connects with the main domain
it still connects and gives authorization. At least authorization information is there, but passwords are not
It
there.
connects with the main domain controller
Exactly.
to authenticate.
Exactly.
It's just
So it connects so there are 5 or 6 users there, suppose accountants, and their username password information will be still saved locally. But other than that, any new user comes, CO comes just to visit. Oh, I want to log in and check my file. Okay, so that CO's username password is not stored locally in that server. So yes, the authentication information, authorization information request will be going to the nearest, through the WAN connection, to the nearest read and write domain controller. So we're gonna do a lab for that, RODC.
But the CEO will be authenticated by that server, right?
No, this server RODC will forward that request to the nearest read and write domain controller through WAN. And it's better not to put that CO's username password, and it's a manual process. You as an administrator have to put that information, whoever permanently logs in and whoever is a nobody. does not have privileges to critical resources across the domain. So as CEO, if you must have a good WAN connection, that's all we need to do. Or if we put that information locally, or we cache this password, when he's gone, make sure manually you removed it. So yeah.
So it is possible to make this a domain controller without making this without installing a DNS server.
Yes, we can uncheck any option now. Okay, so DSRM, of course, we need password protection for our backups and restores. Otherwise, as we discussed in the last scenario, if I really want you fired, I would just go for 2 years old backup and restore that as a junior administrator, and you're my senior administrator. So I'll be promoted as senior and you'll be gone looking for a job. So password protect this area very, very carefully. Okay, next. That was a bad example. Anyway, next. So it's looking for DNS. Hey, we don't have a DNS yet locally. So stop looking and we can ignore this error. Next. Okay, install from media any domain controller. This is just where you have very bad WAN connection and you want a domain controller added there. So there's a remote branch in Alaska and you want to have that domain controller added there. So you will just bring a DVD and copy everything from your Active Directory now to a DVD, paste it to a DVD, send it to Alaska, and they would just add everything from DVD instead of using the WAN connection. And maybe there's a snowstorm there every third day, whatever. Okay, so you don't want to use the WAN connection, you can use a media to update a domain controller. Here we don't need that, so we can get information from any domain controller available. We can select server 1, otherwise any domain controller will also just go to server 1, right?
They both connect with each other, they're able to replicate.
Exactly. So the previous
For
information.
example, you gave Alaska. It's a standalone server. We first installed domain controller for
Active Directory binaries.
Then
Then
it is configured with the server to the WAN connection, and it's automatically replicated.
yeah. So first WAN connection has to be established to get any updates, and if the WAN connection is unreliable, it could drop anytime. So it's better to get a media available.
The controller could be installed
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah, exactly. So first Active Directory is at this point it will stop. Then it will say, hey, if we select this install media now, what will happen? It will ask for a path for the DVD. Where is that DVD? Or if you copied the folder from DVD to the C drive, it will ask that path. So we did not select that, so it will just over the WAN. Suppose we are in a branch, over the WAN it's going to update the domain controller, right? Okay, next. Okay, what was syswall? What was syswall? Who remembers that? Or whose notes are good?
Oh, this was
And it does what?
write down the notes this time. That helps it stores group policies.
Yeah, centralized.
Number 1. Number 2.
Central repository of group.
Whoa, you got it, man.
What is that?
So central repository for group policy you put, and it has to be implemented throughout the domain to every user's or computer, right?
Yeah.
And the scripts. You made the notes? So always, sorry?
And we have about like
2000, nearly 2000 policies that we can use a combination of to put restrictions or give permissions on all the users and computers. So syswall is mucho importante, right? And NTDS, what is a log file? Log file does what?
Saves all the actions you do. Time is
Yeah. With the time, all the events happening on the server, minute by minute, second by second, everything that happens is recorded there.
And it's stored in log file.
And it's stored in log file. How can we see those logs? Event viewer. In tools, event viewer, we can see those logs, right? Next, what is the name of the database of? Okay, you're there. Cool. That was fast. What is the view script for?
You can use the same script for that would have the same settings basically.
For example,
You can copy this script if you want the same settings to another one.
another one what?
Another
domain controller that we want to install unattended, zero touch. Just double click the script and that's it. It should be installing the whole domain controller. So it should be a member server and connected. It should be pinging the server 1, and if this script is run, it should just install all the options and restart, and it should be after restart it should be a domain controller. So this is a zero touch script, right, with all the options already copied. Next. Okay, it's looking for prerequisites now. This is the additional domain controller. This is the way we can install additional domain controllers. If we ever create a child domain, so we have to create a root DC of the child domain, and additional domain controllers for child domains can also be available. Okay, 2 warnings. If you have a very old operating system, domain controllers talk to each other and their replication is encrypted, so it's secure, right? So Windows NT, which is a very old operating system, does not support that. So we better not have Windows NT4 in our environment if we are thinking of installing 2012. Okay, second thing is DNS delegation was not found. DNS is not even there, so ignore this. Prerequisites: check complete, yes, everything done, install. Click install and expect a reboot and a break. So, wow, that was so much. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, whoa. Hey, we haven't even started yet. Pause now. So, additional domain controller is installed, Replica DC. I'm just going to log in and check these 2 things. One is to check if the 390 users are there. So I am logging in to the server 2. Yeah, additional DC and tools, going to Active Directory users and computers on server 2, and I will go to Active Directory users and computers on server 2, and that folder ExchangeUsers is already there because it has been replicated from server 1 automatically. All the 390 users are there, yes. Second thing I would like to check is in the accounts OU. Right now I'll create a new user, right click accounts, click new, click user, and put user 02, just like we created user 01, user 02. Next, put the password, uncheck next logon, next, password do not match. Okay, that was bad. Next, finish. So this user 2 is just now created on server 2, and I'll just right click and refresh first on server 2 mydomain.local inside Active Directory user and computers. If I go to server 1 and first log into server 1 and check the accounts folder, accounts OU in, so I'm in server 1 now, going to tools. Well, I already have Active Directory user and computers open 3 times. Yeah, I'll just close 2 more and refresh. Now I'll go on server 1 inside Active Directory on computers and click accounts. So user 2 is there now. So right away, instantly, whatever we create on any one domain controller is copied to the other domain controller. You checked it, you saw it, and it's from McDonald's. Anyway, so where? Huh? Okay. Wow, what a smell. Cool. So user 2 is there, and user 2 is there, still there. Yeah. I'll take it. So okay.
Just come back to the first step on server 2 now. You have computers, not computers. Right? You have to create a audio for the user 2.
just inside the already created OU card accounts, create a user 2 on server 2. Refresh. That was expected or not expected?
It was expected because it's a DC now. So
It's a DC. So that's a good question. If we go to server 2 and everyone checks computer, click computer, it's empty.
Oh, because you said, yeah, it's been promoted to
Domain. So where it is now?
under domain.
it'll be domain controller.
It's now supposed to be under domain controller. That's a good question. And if this we needed to check, and it was expected result that once Active Directory is installed, it should not be in computers, it should be in domain controller. Okay, so it replicates right away within 45 seconds. It's there in domain controllers, so all the results are okay. And there are 2 DNS servers now. If I want to check 2 DNS servers, what would I do? I'll just go to the DNS console on server 1. There's one DNS server showing here, right? In this console, when we open DNS, there's only one DNS. But now there's a DNS role on server 2 as well. If we want to ever add or want to see both servers, then what we need to do is right-click the DNS.
How do you get to the DNS server 2 or 1?
Okay, so again, I'm on server 1
From the dashboard?
and tools and DNS. So if we want to check if there are 2 DNSs or not, in one single console, we can add another DNS server, and just to check that there are 2 DNS servers now. If there are, they will show there. So I'm opening on server 1, inside the tools, click DNS, DNS console appears here. Only one server 1 is showing. This means server 1 has a DNS role. Server 2, we know now that also has a DNS role. So if I right click the DNS here and connect to DNS server, if there's a DNS role on the server we are about to connect, it's going to show, or let us connect. So yeah, on server 1. Actually, you can do it all on server 2 as well. So
How do you do that?
yeah, so server, you're in DNS console.
Yes.
Everyone, right click, connect to DNS. Everyone there?
Yes.
And what do you do? The following computer. And what do you do here? Server 02. If I press OK, what happens? It adds the server 2 because only and only it has a DNS role. Try to add, later we will have other servers where there is no DNS server role. If you try to add any other server which does not have a DNS role installed, it won't show anything after that. It will just add the server. It won't show anything because there is no DNS role there. It is a second DNS server, so we have collected 2 DNS servers here right away. Now, yeah, at the same spot we can manage. We can collect all the roles that we work on daily in a MMC window. Did you know that? So MMC is Microsoft Management Console. If I want to collect any of the 3 or 4 roles I'm already working on, there's a new way. I can open a blank window, then I can keep adding roles there one by one. So suppose I go to run and type MMC, Microsoft Management Console, and press OK. If I type MMC in run and press OK, then there's a blank window, but I can add many roles by going to File, Add Remove Snap In. Am I going fast or? So, okay. Oh, it's left side. Okay. So I can carry on, huh? What? No, they should not be left out. Although they are on left, but that doesn't mean they should be left out. I mean, although the chicken was so good in fragrance, oh, I could not resist. Sorry? What's the purpose? That's a good question. So one blank window, I'm adding 3 or 4 types of roles. So I'm going to add remove snap in. there are so many roles here that I would like to add, add in order to work on those roles. So I'll start again. Okay, if you missed it, so last time, go to run, type MMC, Microsoft Management Console, and press OK. And then I can add as many custom roles I want to see in one window and to manage those roles and make modifications on those roles. So MMC opens this console. It is a blank console, but I can add any type of services and roles features there. File and add remove snap in. Now these are all the long list of features that I can keep on adding. So DNS is one I'm adding, suppose, and then Active Directory, domain, then sites and services I wanted to see, so add. Active Directory using computers is what I work on every day. I added that. And authorization manager, event viewer, maybe I want to see every day. I added local computer. So maybe 4 roles I've added here. Press OK. All those separate. Sorry. Yeah. So I'm just showing that MMC, you can just add any types of roles. So inside DNS, I can add as many DNS servers. Inside actually sites and services, I don't have to go to tools now. I could just open from here. Active Directory users and computers. Event viewer I can open. So this is just a customized window where you can access all the roles and services we work on every day.
Every time you have to run MMC, and this would.
So this would, I would just save it every time. So I would save this console. Every time when I open, these customized roles will open for me.
How would you save as?
So I will save as file. If I want to save it, save as, and custom roles. If I name it like that and save it on desktop. Save. So we can close and double click that again. Yeah. So the main purpose of this is that. So what's the main purpose? Yeah.
It's easier management, so you can see all of these under one management.
So under one console, one window, you can access your roles which you're working on for next few weeks, for next few days you're working, and you don't want to see all the list of roles instead of what you're working on. You can see that. Desktop, I saved it. Sorry? Job assignment. So I could just. Yeah. Exactly. So instead of going to the long list, you can have your own roles added to a custom window which is accessible from MMC, and you can save it as some other file on a desktop and close it. When you open it again, same roles will open, right? So I just added 2 servers. So this is just a proof that there are 2 DNS servers here. Yeah. So they're just gone from there. There are just links. Yeah, doesn't matter. In the background, they're not deleted. Like in the background, they are still just links. You can. There's a software called RSAT, that just installs all the roles again, all the icons again of Active Directory and DNS. So when we were installing Active Directory, RSAT got installed automatically. So RSAT is normally Active Directory icons. You can put on Windows 7 as well. If I go to Google,
This is the remote server administration.
X tools, yeah. So if I go there and type RSAT, so from a Windows 7, you can handle hundreds of servers with that. Download Active Directory tools, compare and shop, Active Directory management. Oops. RSAT, remote server administration tools. So normally, of course, as system administrator, you won't be going to each server physically and just logging in. So your Windows 7 machine will have this RSAT installed, and from there Active Directory icons all will be appearing in your Windows 7 machine. So if we go to tools, that tools will be inside your Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 machine, and from there remotely you will access all the servers anytime you want. So this tool is already installed here. If you delete that, you can install from any of the icon accidentally gets deleted for Active Directory, you can install RSAT tools from there. Okay, let's go ahead. So we try to know that there are tools of everything. We tried the proof. Two servers are there in Active Directory and Domain Controller. Let's now, since we installed it, now we need to know how to uninstall it, and then we're going to install DHCP. Yay! So the thing is, whenever we install it after a lot of effort, then I say uninstall, like everyone's like, what? We just installed it. Yeah.
Sir, under console and then DNS, there's only one server. But if you go on DNS manager, there's
DNS manager. Yeah.
two. But on console, DNS, there's only one.
Yeah. So you can add, or you can just go there and check. We did these two tasks. Now, how to uninstall, because it has a separate wizard, and we need to learn something from there as well. Uninstall AD DNS from server 2. Install DHCP on server 1. Test on server 2. So DHCP, of course, is very, very crucial. Also, we need to know how to uninstall that and what are the precautions we should take. We should not just take away with our uninstallation the whole Microsoft network. What should we not do and what should we do for these tests? Just the precautions. If I'm on server 2, until now, any questions? We just checked replication. Yes, they're replicating. Everything is up to date. If we create a new thing, it gets updated right away. Now we need to uninstall. So you're creating the clone for that from the template?
It says clone fail actually last time.
Yikes. Yes. Server 2. No, stay determined. You can do it. We're all behind you. Literally, we're behind you. Okay, so uninstall. Wizard is different. Precautions. What precautions we need to take? And let's start that. How do we even start uninstalling? Any suggestions? Where do we go first? Okay, DC promo. DC promo. It was the case, yes, with Windows 2008. Exactly, you're right. DC promo was the command to install, and if you run DC promo on an installed Active Directory, it would start uninstalling it, right? So yes, it was the case, but it's not the case in 2012. So how do we uninstall that? So let's go to manage. So we are where? Which server are we uninstalling that? Server 2. 1? 2. It should not be 1. It happened in few courses that when we are done, all done, yes sir. So what do I do about server 2, sir? I just got rid of server 1. Like what? You just got rid of the root DC. That's it. Your network is gone. Congratulations. Start from scratch. So we are on server 2, and this is a very important thing to consider. Stay on server 2. Okay, manage. So on server 2, in server manager, remove roles and features. Make sure you're still on server 2. Okay, remove roles and features. Next. So this also tells us on server 2, and we are like, okay, we are still on server 2. Next. So if we uncheck this Active Directory services here, uncheck like this, it's just going to say remove features as well. Cancel out, yes? No. I'm just wondering if somebody's asking question for the previous window. No, uncheck this and click remove features. Yep. remove features. It's unchecked, and the error comes right away. So what do we do? It says us, it tells, yeah, first remove. So this is the link, demote this domain controller. Let's click that. Now the uninstallation wizard of the Active Directory starts. So force the removal of this domain controller. The server will be automatically restarted after the demotion operation. Role removal needs to be performed after the restart. So
what is it doing?
so what we are doing right now? Uninstalling Active Directory only.
No, like by demoting, like what are we?
Or removing roles.
We are just trying to learn. We are trying to remove a domain controller, an additional domain controller. We are trying to remove a Replica DC.
Oh.
Yeah, but what is it doing on this window? On this particular. So it's just saying that specify the credentials. First of all, yes, our credentials are administrator. Second thing is that Active Directory will be removed, but the roles like DNS, I have to go back again and uncheck that to do that. So it's only removing those roles. What is force? Force means this is the last resort. That if this operation fails now, I do not click force and click next here. Next, finish, and it says there is an error. Then again we try to do something, troubleshoot, come back again. Then last resort will be force. That whatever it takes, just remove it from our domain. But then there will be lots of manual steps we have to do after that. So this is something that if there was a misconfiguration in the first place, then it would do that. Right now we are okay. We do not want to use the force option. Next. So now it's saying what? The domain controller currently hosts the following roles. Yes, DNS and global catalog. The roles.
Did we check force off?
No, don't. This would be the last resort when there's a failure, continuous failure with this operation, what we are doing now. The roles hosted by the domain controller are required for Active Directory functionality. If you proceed, some Active Directory operations may be impacted. Yeah, it's okay. We already have one Active Directory with GC and DNS already working, so it's okay. It's going to just warn, of course, that if there were thousands of clients already using this server, and if they are currently using this server, they will be affected. They have to put their credentials again, and then their new request will go to the server 1 because this will be unavailable after that. So we normally do that on the weekend when there is the least amount of users connected, and we always give a downtime warning on Friday that this weekend there will be one demote controller logging. We will be demoting. So if there's an error, just log in again, and then their request automatically will go to the remaining DC. So if we don't check that, what happens? We can't go ahead, right? Proceed with removal. Next. Okay, now the administrator password from which we will log in. So let's be careful that we have the class password and view script for demotion as well. But let's click demote, and this will remove Active Directory operations. So we will have that server 2 again in computers container in the Active Directory and computers. It will no longer be in DC container again. So this is demoting here. We can use this time because once you press demote, that's it. I mean, it's going to restart, and there on server 1 it's going to update its information. Oh, it's no longer a domain controller, so it will register it again in server 2. Yes, that's all automatic.
Does that mean user 2 is gone as well?
User 2 still remains there. Although we created on server 2, it get copied there as well in server 1. It's still there. So okay, we did some changes there. Whatever changes were made, if they were copied, replicated, we can say. If they were replicated, they will be there. If we demoted before replication, we at once did that. Of course, if they didn't get replicated, we have to recreate those again. But this never happens. In 45 seconds, it gets replicated. whatever you create there in any domain controller. So restarting now. So restarting, and okay, it's now a normal member server again. If I go to server 1, I'm logging into server 1 just to check my Active Directory. I'll refresh first and then go to domain controllers. Good, server 2 is gone. Computers, welcome back. It's now a member server here. You have been demoted. Yeah, So, it's gone. We now know how to install and remove. Now, the role of DHCP, which is the third critical role after AD DNS. The DHCP, without DHCP, I mean, we don't have a working network. Although we have, if you have 100 clients, either you go to each client and put a static IP, or you let the DHCP do this task. So what does DHCP do? First thing, anyone know?
Automatically generate the IP addresses to the clients. I mean, users.
Generate?
Or no, giving a
Manage. We're going to give the range to DHCP. It's going to manage that range. It's going to give IP to the client which is starting. It will the client will get the IP.
provided by the administrator.
Yeah. So we're gonna install DHCP and we're gonna provide a range. We're gonna tell DHCP this is the configuration, and from now on, if we don't have a DHCP in 100 client environment, what will happen?
Manually,
We have to go to each client and put static IP, right? We don't want to do that. So DHCP will automatically provide IP addresses to, just like in our home, we have a DSL router switch, and any new device just gets the IP automatically. There's a DHCP working inside each and every DSL router. If DHCP you turn off, you can go in and turn off that router. So this is good if you want to protect your, because anyone around can have a Wi-Fi hacker, and once they get your SSID and SSID they will already have. If they can hack your Wi-Fi connection, then your Wi-Fi will give DHCP IP automatically to that device, whoever sitting outside. Then the person joins your network and then go inside your computers. So people stop their DHCP and then put the IP in. But the best thing is you MAC address based. You put it to MAC address based connection, where you collect MAC addresses of your computers and devices, and then put it manually in your DSL router. Then if that MAC address is not there, add it there, then no one can hack you.
MAC filtering.
That is MAC filtering. So anyway, everyone will server 1, every 2. So install DHCP. What does it do? Manage IP addresses. Provides lease time. How long an IP address should be given. Provides network information to all clients. For example, what kind of network information it provides? So network information would be our DNS server is our DNS server. What is the name and IP of our DNS server? Our domain name, our gateway. So our client must know who's our DNS server, what is the domain name, and what is our gateway. Yep.
After service to restart, don't have to remove roles and people.
So I'm just gonna go there. So the icons, Active Directory icons will not leave. on server 2. So what we did in server 2, we uninstalled the Active Directory role, but what is the proof that Active Directory is gone? So yes, while I was typing that, you reminded me. Server 2, let's go there and check one more thing. We are sure Active Directory is gone. We just need a proof. Can anyone tell me that one proof or 2 or 3 proofs that Active Directory is actually gone?
There will be no AD usage.
Gotcha there.
What you go to?
There is. Sorry. Oh, yeah, sure.
Local users.
There is icons will be still there, and it will look like this is still a domain controller. Yeah.
You go to server manager and under dashboard local server, all servers, AD, DC, DNS, and file storage is being on.
There is another proof.
And you go to the domain controller, there is no domain controller. It will automatically go in.
That's one. If you go to server 2 itself, you still see those icons.
// server 2, and then you won't see the two NTDS or sysvol.
Oh, well, yes, you're right. Just the location. Sysvol will not be there. First thing, the solid proof. NTDS.dit file will not be there in what path? What was the path? C, Windows, C, Windows, and then NTDS. The main thing inside the C and then inside the folder Windows, there will be no NTDS folder. If you press N, NTDS will not come up. Icons will still be there. NTDS.dit is not there. It's not a domain controller. NTDS.dit or that shared folder called sysvol, it should not be there. Netlogon and sysvol both should not be there. How to check? Go to the path, go to C. So I'm just going there. I'm on server 2. First of all, see this tools. It's everything is there. Active Directory icons are still there. RSAT was not removed.
But it also gives you a notification in yellow.
Yeah. Okay, this is one of the promote this. But if we go to the C drive and we go to Windows, now click anywhere and press N. Nothing. That was the only folder starting with N. NTDS. NTDS is not there. It is not a domain controller. And second thing, as you said, if I go to check my shared folders, // what should I type here? Server 02, enter. Nothing is there now. There was supposed to be sysvol and netlogon folders. So it's not a domain controller.
Sysvol, it shows the folder sysvol in Windows C. Go to the C drive.
In the C drive, yeah. NTDS should not be there. Sysvol, if it is showing, let's go inside the sysvol. But the shared folder, it should not be showing it as a shared. The policies are still there. The sysvol folder, whatever is there, is still there. It should not be functioning. But NTDS is the main file where every Active Directory file object created is saved. The whole folder is gone, right? So that would be the solid proof. But anyway, as you said, in ADUC, just check in the domain controllers folder, yellow folder, it's not there. Anyway, so yes, that's a good check that we should not be confused if the icons are still showing there like this on server 2. This doesn't mean it's a domain controller. Okay, so DHCP, manage IP addresses, provide lease time, how long the IP address will be given to which machine. If the machine gets an IP, okay, during the wizard I'm going to ask you certain questions and we're going to have some recommendations and what is the best practice. But these are the main tasks that DHCP do, and we use DHCP every day. We are using DHCP right now with CANIPS. DSL order is giving us through DHCP automatically the IP addresses. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. You're right. And manage DHCP. Need a third one. So it's okay, I made it. Just a few more words. Whew. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Too long. Okay. Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Yeah. Okay. These 4 points There's a lot of details there. Let's start. One thing, your VMware workstation also has its own DHCP server. That's going to confuse you when we try to test this. Our test will be that we're going to install DHCP on the first server, and our second server, server 2, which used to be a domain controller, is now a member server. We're going to remove the static IP of this second server after the installation of DHCP here. We're going to test it by removing static IP from here and putting it on automatic. As soon as we remove the static IP and put this one on automatic, it will try to search what? DHCP. Whenever a machine is on automatic, we're going to show that, it always goes search for DHCP. It's going to find two DHCPs, one ours and one VMware workstation has its own DHCP working as well. So VMware workstation will give an IP right away and it will ignore our DHCP. So we need to shut down or uncheck DHCP of VMware workstation. How do we do that? So we're going to first go to VMware options, virtual network editor. Do you find this in edit? Because there are different versions. I think you guys are using
edit.
In edit, virtual network editor. Everyone click that. Now we all see the use local DHCP service. So first of all, if you see host only VMnet 1, click there. I'm seeing 2, you should be seeing 3 if you have a version 10, right? So wherever host only is selected, because this is what we selected for our machines, right? So if you click host only and go right to the bottom, use local DHCP should be unchecked. It is checked, right? Yeah. So that's going to at once give an IP of its own from this range. In my case, I already unchecked it. So
It's a great outcome. Once you click on host only on the top, then it will.
yeah, host only, it's already there. So if I click on NAT, it's different. So it is host only. If it is on host only and still you're on version 11?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm on version 11. So we have an extra step. Version 10, it's not an extra step. On version 11, it's an extra step. Change settings.
Oh, yeah, I did it.
Okay, press yes. And one day it's gonna appear. Maybe Monday, maybe Sunday. Today? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think it just appeared below. Okay, it's here. Yeah. Okay, it's so version 11. Click change settings and just go for host only and uncheck that. In my case, it's unchecked. So everyone did that, because now we're gonna test DHCP, and we should not have an IP that has the network range 110. Maybe in your case, whatever the network range is written there, make sure it is unchecked. Okay, once done, let's go. Everyone did that, right? Press OK now.
It's host only
And then
IP subnet.
yeah, host only, and go right bottom.
You just uncheck and apply.
Apply, that's it. Press OK. Okay, now we're ready for DHCP. No, the rest, no, we don't need.
It is applicable to all the machines.
This DHCP, if it's not working, so whichever machine.
The thing that we have done over here is going to be applicable to all the machines.
Yeah, all the machines, all the virtual machines in our environment. Yes, it will be applicable. Okay, are we ready for DHCP? Yeah. Okay, that's a good response. Oh. So where do we go for DHCP adding? Okay, first thing, that's good that I asked. So now we already have the roles. If I start, although I have written that here already, we have an AD role, we have a DNS now, and GC we already have on server 1. Now we're gonna have DHCP on server 1. Server 2 will be our testing client or testing server, right? So let's install the role DHCP. Where do we go now?
Server 1.
Where?
Oh.
See, I wanted to catch you. Dashboard. Dashboard has add roles and features.
Add another server.
Exactly.
Add other servers.
Okay, cancel out what? No, add roles and features. So add roles and features. RB2. Okay. So next, the first 3 screens, just close your eyes and click next. Anyway. See? Bonsai. Oh, bullseye. DHCP server. Okay, click. Whenever the window pops up, yes, these are the important features that we want. Add feature. Everyone there?
Yes.
Next. And nothing to do on features window, so click next. And nothing here, just blah blah blah. DHCP is a very good server. Yes, yes. Next. And always check this restart whether we need it or not. So if it needs, it will restart itself. If not, it's not going to. Install. Let's click install. Okay. After that, we're going to configure it. Hey, that was good. Did you add the feature?
The book you sent me. Can help these all stuff.
Oh yeah. But we're gonna do a lot more than that. But that book is very good for
All these stuff are there.
all these.
I cannot write.
Oh, the video. If you rewind that, you can write the whole thing as well. But for now, consider understanding the concept. Then you will be, when you're repeating this with the video, it will be easy for you to repeat. Right now, just concentrate on understanding.
That book only covers one exam, right?
That's just for 70-410. So, guys, I send a link for the book. That's a Microsoft Press store, so released from Microsoft, and it's the latest one on this course. And it's from MS Press store. It was $31 before. Now it's $59, so total $61. Or I'm recording that. If you can get from other resources.
What's the name of the
Ebook? Oh, so since I'm going to mention that word again, let me just. So, this is the book that is recommended, but Cybex and Wiley, they're also all good if they're talking on the 70-410, the latest edition. Let's go back to DHCP because it's going to be not very long lab.
Sorry, what's the name of this? Code number?
70-410. Configuring and installing Windows 2012. Yes. Okay, so recording is on. I am pressing the close button. I think everyone has DHCP installed, right? Okay. Where do we go now? The yellow triangle tells us that we need some configuration to be done on complete DHCP configuration. 2 things will be done here. So let's just click here. This is not the actual configuration. Everyone there? Okay. So DHCP administrators security group will be created, and DHCP users security group will be created, which will be later used automatically by DHCP, and authorization of DHCP will be done. So DHCP will be authorized by the Active Directory to start working in this environment. So these 2 steps will be automatically done. I hope it is successful for both of these are successful for you. Next, when you click next, it's going to be. It's just asking next window if the current account is okay, which is okay. Commit. So when we click commit, it should be successful procedure. Both should be saying done. Is it done for everyone? Oh, it rhymes. Cool. Done. Done DOS. That's a good one. Okay, close. Now the actual configuration should be starting. Tools and DHCP. Everyone there?
Yeah.
Tools, DHCP. Okay. Now, just like in DNS, we had to create a reverse lookup zone, and I am not sure why am I standing for the whole time. I am so tired. Oh, it got recorded. Anyway, so now lot of configuration here. Server 1, everyone there, it has to be green. Make sure it's green. IPv4 is green. This means the service is running for DHCP. Not green? Because it happens that it's not green for some, so you have to right click here and run the service. It is green. Okay, or F5. Okay, let's configure, create one scope. In DNS, we created a zone. It's just an area of configuration for us to tell how it will be configured. So in DNS, it is a zone. In DHCP, it is a scope. Right click and new scope. Okay, new scope. Everyone did that? Welcome wizard, first page, next. And the name. It could be DHCP for your branch. It could be 10 floors and you are giving IP range for each floor separate. So it could be the first floor range. It could be just one range for the whole campus. Yep.
Oh wait, where do we go from tools DHCP?
That's it. Tools, DHCP, and then right click IPv4. And right click and then click new scope. Oh, you're writing down. You're not doing it?
Oh no, I am. My team is restarted.
Oh, you're not the SSD gang?
No.
Oh, you're not our gang member. Come on. Okay. So, even if you guys could get SSD 100 GB, that's enough. Okay, that's not enough.
Not enough.
You know where the
500 GB is good.
500.
But you will see in next labs that you really need SSD. Yeah.
do you know where the flag thingy is? It doesn't say DHCP.
Which thingy?
The flag, the yellow.
Oh, no. Did you authorize that? After that, it's not going to show that. So here, if I am, did you? The yellow warning is not there, right?
I got it.
Okay, cool.
It works.
All right, good support. So let's go ahead and we were configuring the new scope. Right click, new scope. Right click IPv4 and next. And then the first scope, we're just gonna give it, but we can create as many scopes per floor, per branch, per IP ranges. We're just gonna, it could be for any reason. We can just put any name here. Oh, very close. Exam reference is another series which is for exam reference. So training guide is a challenge.
Training guide.
Training guide, it starts with training guide.
So this is the official one.
That's the official one.
How do you define scope?
Define.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
So scope is that we give a range of IP for, suppose we have 100 computers and we need to give them IP address so they could come on network. Either we can go one by one and put static IP 192.168.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or we can give a range from 192.168.0.50 up to 192.168.0.100 or 200. Once we give a range, apply, they're going to, so the computers, when you start with Windows and you haven't given a static IP, whenever the computers do not have static IP, they always look for DHCP. They're going to look for our DHCP. And we, after configuration, they would find that there's a range from 192.168.0.50. So first computer will get the 50, second will get 51, 52, 53, 54, whichever request first. We'll keep on getting IP addresses. Automatically, we have to don't do anything.
Like at home, when you start your computer,
At home.
automatically goes to the router.
And you get internet.
For the everything, the setting has been done. Like you do the settings, wireless, pin, DHCP, automatically. It automatically goes and it have a negotiation with the router. The router has the password and everything, authenticates, and it gives you an IP address.
So, and we're gonna do that now, and we're gonna just try to understand that as well. But I can make a quick diagram here. So, DHCP server here, and there are many clients here which do not have a static IP, which have Windows 7 installed, any Windows installed here. And when they start the first time, they're gonna look for a DHCP. Where is our DHCP? So if they find a DHCP here, then there's actually a 4-way communication for acknowledgement, but they will get an IP from the range which we will configure now. So 192.168.0.50 is what we're going to configure. So whoever is the first will get the 50 IP address, 0.50. Whoever is second will get this 51, 52 and onwards. So DHCP maintains the IP addresses automatically. It also takes back the IP address if it does not find the machine for a certain time. 75% of the time it reaches, it checks the machines if they are there or not. Right? So it just manages IP addresses automatically. Yeah?
You're giving first scope, that's what is the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
The second scope is the second floor.
We should have a router between.
Okay, because that's what I was
Separate range, separate subnet.
the two machines are booting up.
Hmm.
So from
Or layer 3 switch also has routing available as well, right? Oh, you're the Cisco guy, man.
I'm not
So yeah, if there's routing available, we can give as many subnets and create scopes.
okay, the servers would have go to the particular router and then.
Yeah, if the communication is there, yeah, definitely.
I don't understand that. What do you mean?
Uh,
Floors, what?
Yeah, so if we have 10 floors, so it was in my previous job that we had departments. So each department we defined a separate range: 192.168 0.1 for accounts, 192.168 1.1 for management, up to 200 2.1, 3.1, 4.1. So now we needed a routing between them. So different subnets do not communicate without a router. Okay, first scope. Let's just configure that. Next. Now we need to give a range here that every client will get an IP from 192.168 0.50 up to 100. 192.168 0.100. So, and that. So we gave a range. Now the client whichever communicates first will get the IP sequentially. Whoever communicates from second floor, whichever communicates from third floor, and if it does not have an IP, it will get from this range, right? So this is the 24 bits IP. There's a class A, class B, class C IP addresses, and we're going to discuss that with V4 and V6 as well. But for now, it's the range. So class A, class B has and C has separate ranges for bigger network, for smaller network, for medium-sized network. For example, class B IP can have 65,000 clients. So there are different classes and ranges. Okay, anyway, we are giving a range for our very small network, imaginary, 50 up to 100, suppose. Okay, I'm leaving from 192.168 0.1 up to 192.168 0.49. So administrators, sometimes they plan that I'm not going to give everything to DHCP, because many of the critical resources, servers, they should not be given IP address from DHCP. Servers are critical resources, printers are also critical resources, the switches and routers. So you always leave certain range away from DHCPs, because if servers are given IP address from DHCP, then what will happen? What's the wrong thing here?
Conflict of IP.
Suppose we give from 192.168 0.1 up to 254 and everything gets IP from DHCP.
Replication and other problems will arise.
If the DHCP goes down,
They will take on.
so when they are all dependent on DHCP, critical resources should not be given IP addresses from DHCP. If DHCP goes down, they will not be able to communicate with each other, right? So I'm starting with 50. I could have started from 2 or 3. 1 and 2 we have already given, so I cannot give those because then it will be a conflict, right? But I still am saving a lot of IP addresses, so I could give it to printers. Maybe next time servers will be added, maybe some other critical resource comes. So never give all the IP addresses. So administrators always plan first in Excel sheet that from here to here I will keep it for my static use, and from here to here, yes, give it to clients.
Well, we can change this, right? If, for example,
Anytime. Yeah, we can change it anytime. We can make this range longer. We can have 3 subnets, and we can make a very big range.
Changes happen then if you have more than 50 static
Yeah.
IP
Yeah.
addresses.
Okay, next window. Add exclusions and delay. Now, length is just to tell what, how big is the network. So it's a discussion of class A, B, and C. So class A is bigger or class C is bigger?
Class A is bigger.
Class A and C, which is bigger? Class A has 254 clients and class C has 1 million clients range. So it's a range that is given. So we're going to talk about class A and B and C. But right now it's the range, how many clients can. So what happened in my environment in previous job, we have class C has what? Is the biggest range. So what happened we had 254 computers in the start, 200 computers in the university. It was just starting. It was a college before. So then all of a sudden investment came and we bought 1,000 computers more. So we were on class A, which just can have how many computers?
So class A can have 10 million.
Class C, we have class C.
254.
Yeah, class C has 254 only. And we had bought 1,000 computers more. So at once we did not think about that, and the new computers they stopped receiving IP addresses, right? So then we changed the class A to class B to have 65,000 computers range. Then we could start supplying IP addresses to the remaining more than 254 computers. So we should plan according to our expansion, not the current network, right? But we're going to discuss about that. Right now, it's so we're going to give range from 50 to 100. Click next. What is exclusions? Add exclusion and delay. So what is exclusion? Exclude what?
Those IPs only it is specified for some specific servers or something.
Okay, can you suggest team right and team left? What should I type here for exclusion? From where to where?
From 1 to 49.
So 1 to 49 you're suggesting?
101 to 255.
Yeah.
1 to 149.
Maybe because we are giving from 50 to 100, from 50 to 100, there could be some few addresses we want to save for the future.
Mm-hmm. So
we can exclude those also.
no, give me a range. It's a trick question actually.
But 1 and 2 already has been assigned, right?
Yeah. Give me exclusion range. You're saying 1 to 149.
No, I said 3 to 49.
3 to 49 you said. Okay.
No, we were 1 to
You
49.
want to exclude these ones because these are already used for, the IP address you already used, insert that one, right?
So
Those are not to be here. Exclude those.
so can you give me a range?
50 to 100.
You're saying 50 to 100 in exclusion?
Exclude these one, right? Yeah. Or you can.
This is the range we gave, right? Yeah, you're saying?
1 and 2 exclude those, add them, and then do 50 to 100, and then add them as well.
We can add any and extract any, but there should be a reason for that.
Because it says range of addresses that are not distributed by the server. Oh wait, no, distributed. No, the ones that we want to use right now.
That's the point. I'm going to tell you now.
We include those IP addresses here which we do not want to give them on the DHCP.
So what's the range you're suggesting?
1 to 49.
Okay, so this is the final, right? 1 to 49. You didn't give a range. Where to where?
So from, let's suppose the DHCP server is giving from 50 to
100.
100. So it's not concerned with 1 to 49 already.
So what range are you giving?
From 50 to 100 we going to exclude. Let's suppose from 60 to 70.
You're excluding from 60 to 70. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, you were raising hand. Attendance.
You cannot give the big range and you can give a short range too. For example, so 5 IP addresses are excluded, right? So you can
No. So what range? No, you have to give a range. Actually, reasons we will discuss. Yeah.
Not those which are already given to DHCP, other than those.
So, for example, we have given from 50 to 70. Then what? What range are you giving?
Those are
Say the range. Say the range. Say the range. Say the range. Range. No, actually, you're giving the reason. Give the range, and I will understand why you gave that range. I'll know the reason. Okay, the thing is, because you're taking, come on, too much time now. So the thing is, we're going to exclude from what we have given, as you said, what we have given already here. Those which are outside this range are already excluded or outside. So it's asking whatever you given in the previous page, do you want to exclude something from there? So it is going to be excluded from within the 50 to 100. It's not from 1 to 49. That's already, DHCP doesn't even know if it exists. DHCP only knows what we wrote here. So this is exclusion range from here. Okay, let's give exclusion range 192, 168, 0 dot, 51 up to, because there's another trick question coming. 192, 168, 60. Okay, good. Add and delay. We're gonna exclude from what was we put in the previous window, but they were giving range from outside, which we never even included. Anyway, so 51 to 60. It's from within the range from previous window, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Subnet delay in milliseconds. This is the delay. A delay is the time duration by which the server will delay the transmission of a DHCP offer message. So DHCP offer means that if a client is asking for a DHCP IP address, then the DHCP offers that. But you want the DHCP to somehow to delay that message. That hey, am I ready to offer that message or not? So this delay is just millisecond, but this means that you want DHCP to take a little time to just don't right away offer a an IP address. Instead, take a little time to offer that message, offer that IP address. What's the reason for offering in delay a DHCP IP? Can you think of any reason? A client needs an IP right away just to connect right away. Why would you create certain millisecond of time? I just changed it to 7. Could be 10. It's just milliseconds. Like so this is the situation of delay when you have two DHCP servers. One is active, one is passive, or both are active DHCPs. That's a subject for 411. No, 412. What happens is two DHCPs at one time. There could be only one DHCP. That was in 2008. Active DHCP, passive DHCP. Passive means one is waiting for the other one to go down for it to go up. So passive is just waiting. It's just standing on standby. Active one is distributing DHCP. Suppose active one goes down. You would want the second server to delay to start distributing IP address. Why? Maybe it went down and it's coming back up right away. Maybe it had just a glitch, just a hiccup. Now the second one, passive one, thinks, oh, it's down, let me just start giving IP address right away while the first one is up again. And it's like, oh, okay, so now there will be a conflict in IP. So one DHCP is giving and the other DHCP is also giving. This is a no-no situation, right? So you would want a delay that, hey, if it was a hiccup, let it come back again. If it's up, okay, just stay back, stay on the standby. So 0. No, it's still a millisecond. Even if you give, it doesn't make any difference. Next, lease time 8 days. If I want to make it 999, is that a good idea or a bad idea? Why? An IP is will be given for 999 days to a device, so we don't have to worry for that device. What's the bad idea about
How
that?
many devices is there? Like 50 devices, you know?
Suppose
And then more devices come. And then you're not gonna have enough IP addresses because it'll be used for so many. You know,
So this IP cannot be backed. Maybe the device was formatted or thrown out in after 100 days. That IP is still mapped to that device, and it will be again checked after 999 days, or 70% of the lease time is reached. Then the machine checks if the DHCP checks the machine if it's still alive or not. On 100%, it just takes away the IP, right? So for larger network, it's always, we had 30 days. Some networks have 15 days default. So we just need to know why we would have lesser days. So it could check again and again. But if we make it very less, we will be creating a lot of DHCP traffic as well. So it's a balance between your network traffic plus check again and keep the IP addresses, get the IP address back if they're not being used. Especially for guest networks, you make it like in hours, in few hours, because in guest networks the iPhones and other devices get the IP, use your Wi-Fi, and then that's it, they go away. So within hours it should be checked and taken back, the IP address. The device is not there, the guy is gone, the guest is gone, the IP address should not be mapped to his device. Okay, so yes, default, yeah. 8 days is okay for not very large environment, like you could say 1000 computers. It depends on how often your computers are being moved or formatted again and again and having issues that the IP address will be taken away or should be taken away or rebooted. So next, yeah, default. We just need to understand why we do what we do.
when a computer is rebooted, it again takes a new IP.
Actually, it's MAC address based, so it's already mapped to that. But the lease time, when the lease time is checked on 70% of the lease time when it's finishing, that the DHCP will decide, okay, whether to take the IP address or not.
So the larger your network is, the less these connections have.
Better. It's better that way. Now the network is already very speedy. In older networks, we used to think that, okay, still don't create so much traffic for DHCP. Okay, next. Now configure DHCP options. So this means that DHCP will be telling all the 1000 clients, suppose we have 1000 clients, that what is our DNS name, what is our domain name, and what is our gateway. Gateway is IP where the traffic leaves the network to the internet, right? Next. So we have a gateway called, numbered as, there are 1, suppose that's our gateway. So the clients should know automatically. We're not gonna go to the client statically, enter the gateway, of course. So click add, we have put the gateway already 0.1. Next. Already it picks up our domain name, which is mydomain.local, and it picks up the IP here as well, which is 192.168.0.1. So the clients must know this because they are Windows clients. So their preferred DNS will automatically, when they receive the IP, they will get the DNS information as well and the domain name as well. That doesn't mean they were going to join automatically the domain as well. They're just IP information. Right. Next. Yeah.
Gateway and DNS has the same IP address. So the
In our case only.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's always different. So wins, yeah.
We don't change server name or IP address.
Because it's the correct one, no, we don't change. So next, wins is something. It's NetBIOS names to IP address name resolution, which was used by only Windows networks, and it's being discouraged. This option is still there for legacy applications which are still resolving their names from Wins server. Otherwise, we don't configure Wins server nowadays. Microsoft is discouraging to use this. Large organizations are still having this because some old applications are still resolving names from also from DNS, but also from Wins as well. It's just an extra name resolution, but it's purely for Windows environment. But now it's always non-Windows and Windows environment, so DNS is encouraged everywhere. So we leave it, and next, and finito. Oh. Activate. and finito. Okay, finish. Right click, refresh. After finishing, right click and refresh. Can anyone tell me what will be the first IP received by your device, by your server 2? Okay, you're saying 61. Anyone else saying anything else? What your server 2 will receive an IP when it requests for an IP? What IP it should receive?
After 16, you reserve those IP range.
So
60.
you're saying 62. You're saying 61. 61.1, 61.2. Anyone for 62?
Okay, actually, 1960.
100.
100. Anyone? 100. Okay, now you're stuck. Okay, this is discovered. Let's quickly go to server 2, remove its IP. Oh, first log into server 2, and then I'm logging to server 2 and removing the static information. Anyone else still want to guess what IP it should get? Okay, we have a 62 now. 62.1, 62.2. Okay, if you have domain, if you have a firewall on, please turn it off. Any other guess till now? Okay, no guesses. Okay, so I'm going to server 2, local server, and then to Ethernet, and then double click, and properties, IPv4 double click, and obtain an IP address automatically. Automatic, obtain a DNS automatically, both, yes. Every two did this? Just go to IPv4, Ethernet settings, obtain an IP address automatically. Done? Okay, press OK. And press OK. We're expecting 61. So double click that and you could go to details now.
I got 61.
Huh? What?
61.
Okay. Details 50. Why 50? Who else got 50? Are you even check 50? Why?
That's the first one. The range.
That was the second trick question. That's why I started the exclusion range from 51 up to 60. So everyone will think, oh, okay, 61 should be done. No, there's 150 also that's not included in the exclusion range. That's so much fun. Anyway, because it was not in exclusion range. So it is available for giving to anyone. Whatever is in exclusion range will be excluded.
Remember we did 50 to 100, right? And then he excluded 51 to 60. Yeah.
Yeah, not from 50. That was the second confusion. Thank you very much. Yeah. No, but that clears the concept. Whatever is available will be given sequentially. Right? Okay, this is done and we are done as well. So you can wake up now. Just kidding. Hey, you didn't have that noodles again. That was so nice. But we had chicken today as well. So. Oh, don't tell me. Oh my God, so cruel. Okay, we did today Replica DC and installed, uninstalled, discussed all the features, installed DHCP, tested it, discussed all the features, and created 390 users. Tomorrow, expect more adventure. Thank you very much. What? Yeah, so come again. Yeah, that too.